What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 4 of this series of building Long Bed Larry, the newest project on the channel. So last video you saw, we built the whole bottom end of the motor. We need to get the top end done today, and we need to get the P-pump work done today. All right, I need to mention too that everything in this video that we've done for this build, all the parts, valve springs, cam, everything, I got through Diesel Auto Power. They've been excellent to work with, great customer service, and the more impressive thing is everything I needed they had in stock. And that's kind of a rarity right now in these times. So everything got here within a couple days with shipping, super good customer service. If something came and it wasn't the right thing, they swapped it out. I'm more than impressed. So what we're gonna do actually on this build, everything I've used, they're gonna give a discount, 10% off. Use the code DECENTGARAGE for anything that I've used in this build if you wanna purchase that for your truck. So make sure to check that out. So let's get to it.
Pump. So right here, it's at 841 on the end of the tag. So you look at the second line, the top one will obviously be your serial number, and then this will be the block that it was made in. I can't remember the whole breakdown of what it was, but those last three numbers there what tell you what pump you have.
All right, so we cut just a little bit off the AFC foot so we can get full travel out of it. If you're gonna do this mod, you do need to do a Mac rack plug, which we're gonna show you that we bought to put in, so you get the full travel of that AFC foot.
I like to turn this, and you can watch the AFC foot move. As you turn this in, you'll feel it hit right there, and then you can go 1 full turn, 2 full turns if you had a modified truck with fuel injectors, but if you're stock, go 3 full turns. So we'll go about 2.5, and then that should be set up pretty good to run with that spring. Your kit will come with 2 different springs from Diesel Auto Power. This one's for the 215 pump. The lighter spring that we put in there is for all the other pumps. So you'll have a few of these left over from doing your fuel plate delete. So I try to set it up about right there, right in the middle. That way you get good starting habits. You don't have to do a bunch of adjustment on your AFC. You can leave the spring a little bit loose so the truck's a little more easily drivable. And then you get more of the rack travel, because the further you have this forward, the less that arm will have the travel. And I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it, and it'll hit the end of that case. This one's good.
All right, so now we're gonna do the rack plug. There's the stock one. Here's our new rack plug from Diesel Auto Power.
You see the difference in the thickness there.
Yeah, so the new rack plug is deeper, so it allows the rack to travel further forward.
It's a pretty straightforward install.
All right, so we've got the valve springs done on the head. We almost have the P-pump done. One thing we haven't talked about yet on this build, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do for fueling, if I'm gonna do an air dog or a stock lift pump. Leaning towards an air dog, but one thing I do know, we're gonna go with a dual feed kit. The stock fueling setup, you only get fuel coming into the rail right here, okay? And so what you get is cool fuel for these couple injectors, but what we're gonna do, it's a dual feed, so it feeds here, and then it also feeds on the front, so we're gonna get nice cool fuel to the whole rail for all the injectors. And this kit, again, got it at Diesel Auto Power.
The new one doesn't have to be installed that tight. The new kit comes and it is O-ringed. Yeah, mesh fitting. And we're not going to tighten this all up due to we have to paint it. And if you're going to install a fuel pressure gauge, I recommend installing it in the line right here. You can get a fitting and then you can put a fuel pressure gauge in right here. AirDog says to put it back by the pump. You put it right here, you know it's got good pressure right here.
All right, so after fighting with the pump a little bit, we got the dual feed line in right there, good to go. So now we're gonna do the KDP. So this is controversial topic depending on who you talk to, but what we're gonna do a cheap KDP fix. It is not worth paying the extra money for the billet things that you buy. Totally not worth it. Here's what we have. This is a hose line clamp that was on the frame that I took off of one of the trucks. We're basically just gonna cut it right there, maybe file the edges just a little bit so it's pretty, so that people don't comment below that it looks ugly. And so what we're gonna do, take this case bolt out and then run that as a tab over the KDP right here. So there's a couple ways you can do it. I've used a coat hanger before and just bent it around and then used the case bolt to tie it in there. Another thing is you can just get a punch and peen the edge of this. On the first gen case, that's easier because you have more meat on the case to actually work with, but on the second gen case, you don't have a lot of meat there to work with to peen it. So we're gonna do that. Okay, there we go. You can see it's nothing beautiful, but once we have this engine together, no one will ever see this again. So it doesn't have to be beautiful, it just has to be functional.
Okay, so these are your rocker pedestals, your factory ones here. You see how they have this flat edge here where the bolt would have went through. So we're putting studs in this truck, so you got to machine 200 thou off of there so that the stud will be recessed in far enough and it won't interfere with your valve cover. And then it's a good part. Diesel Auto Power has these in stock. Exotic performance. I can send them right to you.
All right, guys, so we got the pedestals all put together. What else did we just do? Oh, the exhaust manifold bolt. There was one broken off. It was a fiasco, but we got it out, taken care of. Got the exhaust manifold studs put in, so we're good to go. So now we are getting ready to put the head on. So we're gonna clean the surface off again, get it nice and clean and dry. And then we're gonna run an OE Cummins gasket. We had to go 10 over because of the machining they did on the head. And then we're running these extreme duty Hamilton push rods. So they're rated, I believe, for 750 horsepower. These again are both from Diesel Auto Power. They were in stock, so again, everything I ordered was in stock, so it got here real quick. So we're gonna get this taken care of. All right, so you guys saw we put the ARP head studs in. You saw there's 3 different sizes. It's pretty easy to tell which ones go where. And then we just buried them down gently. Once they bottomed out, we just backed them off a little bit, but just so we could seat them, and then we'll torque them down to spec here in a second. But we've got the pedestals in, rockers. We're putting the greased nuts on all the studs. How does it feel having a handful of greased nuts?
Erotic, I guess.
All right, we got the head studs all torqued. By we, I mean Cade. You guys got to watch him work out there a minute. So head studs are done. We're gonna set the valve lash, get that taken care of, and then we're gonna do the tappet cover. So here we go. right, guys, we did it. We have a full long block ready to go. We have a couple more things. I gotta paint the pump still. So anyways, we've got it to where we're gonna have it with Cade here. Cade, can't thank you enough for coming to help.
Anytime.
What'd you think? First time on YouTube?
Yeah, it's definitely an experience. It's definitely pretty different, but it was good, and I think it's gonna be a good running motor.
Okay.
I really like the stuff we put in it, and I think it'll be a strong runner.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I was telling Cade, had I tackled this project by myself, it would have taken me at least a month, because my personality, I research everything, and so every step I would have spent hours and hours researching. But I was able to take Cade's experience from it. He was able to teach me. Probably looked like he did most of the work because I was filming and stuff, but I can't thank him enough. It was very, very helpful. So next video, we're going to be getting more of the accessories bolted on. We're going to get the oil cooler and the oil filter housing. We're going to put the P-pump on because that'll be painted, the vacuum pump, exhaust manifold. So we'll be getting this to the point where it's ready to put in the truck, which means I got to get my button gear and get the truck ready for this to go in it. So we're making progress much faster than we thought I would. So anyways, it's fun. Thanks for your support. Thanks for helping out, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Adios.